Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Hey guys, it's Sam right here. Today I have the iPad Air 2 in my hands and we're gonna unbox it as usual. So the iPad Air 2 was recently released in Apple's October event. This doesn't really replaces the iPad Air 2 because the iPad Air 2 is still ongoing as the base, probably the base iPad right now. And with this iPad Air 2, they announced a new processor, a new screen technology where they eliminate the air in between the touch panel and the front digitizer, and all sorts of various stuff, including a super thin device and a new color, which is what I have here. Luckily, this is a gold 16GB base model again, and this is just a Wi-Fi model basically. So it is still the base model, base iPad Air 2. So let's go ahead. High knife. Left some marks on it. There you go. Here's the iPad Air 2. I'm gonna slowly lift up the box. Dun dun. This is my very first time seeing the iPad Air 2 in gold color. We'll come back to that in just a second, although it's really tempting. Here we have the documentations and all that stuff, including Apple stickers, same old lightning connector, and same old charger, power plug. So now we're gonna look at the tablet itself. Oh my, the first moment I saw in Apple Store, I fell in love with it. This is very light, very thin, but first of all, let's just take out this protective plastic. There she is. So the front is white and then the back is gold color, and then there's some gold ring around the Touch ID home button. So this thing is very light. It only weighs like 0.96 pounds or 437 grams, which is lighter than the previous iPad Air. And the thickness has been reduced as well to 0.24 inches only, which is only 6.1 millimeters. Very, very thin. I think it's just a big difference between this and the iPod Touch. So the height is about 240 mm or 9.4 inches, and then the width is about 6.6 inches, which is 170 millimeters. So let's look around the iPad itself. Still the same FaceTime HD camera, and then this new Retina display, 9.7 inch with a LED IPS display, multi-touch, 2048 by 1536 pixel at 264 ppi, which is not the highest in the world, but it's good enough for everyday using. It has an anti-reflective coating. Not sure if you can see, there's a blue color thing right there, and a fully laminated display. At the bottom, this is new for all the new iPad lineup, which is a home Touch ID home button. So you can be used to unlock your device, use it in some apps, and of course use it as Apple Pay. But then you can't take this thing to a retail store and use NFC because it doesn't have an NFC built in. You can use only apps and stuff like that. Right hand side, you got the volume up and down, and then I guess they got rid of the volumes, the mute switch or lock rotation switch. On the top you have the power button and 3.5mm headphone jack. Nothing on the left hand side. This thing is very thin, so thin. It's even thinner than the diameter of a pencil. The bottom you got 2 speakers and a lightning port. Basically the design is almost the same. You have the new 8-megapixel camera which does 1080p video and 2 microphones. A few microphones here, and of course top here, if you get the Wi-Fi cellular model, you get a bar, black bar right there, and then you have this reflective Apple logo. It's covering gold color, and then at the bottom it says iPad. Just power this thing up. So we have some juice in there. So next what we're gonna do is we're gonna set up, and then we'll come back to this thing. Right, finally we got the iPad set up. So I'm gonna dig into the iPad. So basically what's powering this thing is a A8X 3-core processor. Sounds a bit weird. And a M8 motion core processor. Basically screen colors are, it's okay, it's good, it's not as good as a Super AMOLED, but you can see the they already eliminated the air gap between the top touch panel and then the screen. So you're literally touching the pixels itself. It's very nice. 16GB model, you get about 10 gig available for your own downloads, stuff like that. My advice is avoid the 16 and go for the 64, because a few apps will take out 10 gigs, because you know apps for the iPad are slightly larger. So go for the 64GB. Nice screen as well, a great viewing angle, and camera. Okay. You get HDR and all that stuff. You know, it's kind of annoying for someone to use an iPad to take a photo. It doesn't really annoys me, but then most people find it annoying, especially in concerts and stuff like that, when there's a big fat thing in front of you, someone using that to record the concert, and then you were blocked by this whole thing. But then Apple obviously wants that trend to continue, so they put on the new 8-megapixel camera, but no LED flash though, so it's fine. So if you are familiar with iOS, this is basically the same thing. It comes preloaded with iOS 8.1, which is really nice. Then you have the settings. Basically everything you expect in the iPad is here. The photo booth is still right here. iOS 8. If you're familiar with iOS, this is fine for you. So that's it for my unboxing video of the iPad Air 2. Subscribe for more videos like this, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.